Hey everybody, it's NiftyBC with the NFT Circus with my co-host Jimmy D and TC with our guest Mr. Bullshipples over here. And how do you say that? The Bullshipples. I like the
I
Bullshipples.
don't know, but I like Bullshipples. I think that
Bullshipples
needs to
better
be a
though.
meme.
I think went through this Bullshipples kind of thing that just happened.
I mean, my friends call me Marty, but really, I'm the Martian Bullshipples, and so
I love it. Thank you, Marty, for stopping in, man. Awesome, cool. And then Mello is back again, Mr. Mello, the Mello Builder from Uplift. So lots has been happening in the NFT space, guys. So Coinbase just announced they're going to be doing an NFT market now. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what coins are going to trade, or if it's going to be cross-chain, or what it's going to be.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What happens when they get into NFTs? Like, because when they get into NFTs, am I going to be like responsible for having like taxable art in my fucking wallet? Because that's going to suck if it is. I don't think we're there yet, but like that's saying a lot if Coinbase is getting into NFTs, really.
Yeah, I mean, FTX is another one that just got in through using Solana and Ethereum, however you say it. It basically is doing a cross-chain thing by the end of the month. I'm hitting all the good fucking pronunciations today. Yes, awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
We're just
I
gonna call
mean,
it
the
Ether.
Solana thing is weird for me, like because they. I mean, I like Solana. I have a little bit. I don't have any Solana NFTs because I haven't dabbled in it. I don't know if you guys have or not, but
Yeah.
that whole insider trading thing was kind of weird for me, and I was just like, I believe that Solana will be good, but like they're not there yet, and I still don't get it. Like, why are people not playing around on Wax? I just don't get it. Marty, maybe you can help me out here because you're the forever permabull in some senses, right? But like we're all biased, we're all jaded. Like TC, Mello, Nifty, myself, we're all building, like on Wax. I mean, I know you're releasing stuff on Wax as well, but I know you're also playing the broader space with some of the other affiliations that you have.
Yep.
Like, what the hell is going on? Why is nobody paying attention to Wax? What's happening, Marty?
people chase the FOMO. I actually started 3 or 4 years ago primarily on Tron, which I know, right? But what I've been drawn to is chains that just work. And I like cheap and free, easy transactions. And the reason that I've shifted my focus into the Wax space is you get spoiled on Wax. It's so good. It's so easy. And it works so well. We are building bridges over to BSC. We're going to have bridges to Icon, Sys, Matic, Tron. In our first event coming up, we're going to have multi-chain rewards. And so, we are trying to connect to all those other chains. But I was just doing a tutorial on BSC today, and you get spoiled with Wax because that instant free transaction is just so clutch, like so good. And I think the rest of the industry, once they see what's possible on Wax, not only will we have this influx of users, but hopefully the rest of the chains can learn from that and begin to adapt that into the user experience because it's so good.
Yeah, it is. And then, also they announced the EVM this week as well. Let me bring that up as well. Have that up here on screen. Let me prop that up. Now, so that's going to bridge over ETH over to Wax, correct?
Wow.
So what is this going to do is basically it's called the Ethereum Virtual Machine, and it will take your NFTs and you'll be able to mint them actually even through this using the Wax system, no gas fees. I'm going to put the link up for you guys to check out. Let's see where to find that at.
Nonfungible.com.
Non-fungible is where it's at. I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat for anybody that wants to go check it out. They kind of go over it. I don't know exactly when this is launching, but it seems like it's going to be pretty soon. And it's going to allow basically to go back and forth from ETH to Wax, which is going to be
crazy,
nuts, to me.
Shoot.
So with that coming into play, and then with these other chains, and now with Coinbase too, and also let me throw up the Coinbase thing. This is the link to go sign up. You can get on the waiting list if you want to go find out more about it. Let me just toss this in the comments as well.
Put a big Wax symbol there in the top corner and change the collect to correct, and then we got something up there.
Boom. There it goes. Yeah, so sign up if you want to find out more about it. They don't really give almost any information, so I have no idea exactly how they're going to do this. Like if it's going to be one coin or multiple coins, or they're going to use USD. I have no clue. So, but it's Coinbase, which is pretty damn huge. So I have no idea how this is all going to play together. You know, it's kind of interesting to see all this kind of starting to happen so quickly as well. You know, so.
I mean, we might just get buried. And I was on a stream last night with Sean from Crypto Writer and Finney. And I do a show once a week, but we decided to move it up a day. And we were talking about the Terra blockchain. And if you know what the Terra blockchain is, the Terra blockchain, like these guys came out of nowhere. A lot of like people who were in the EOS space and Ethereum space and other spaces, they invested in Terra really early. I think down to like where it was around $5, and now it's up to 50. So there's a lot of people that have a lot of money over there that are playing with this system, and they've got EVMs out. I think like Terra itself, one of the projects I used to work for, they ported over. They've got like a small DeFi social app over there, and they ported over. Now they've got like a Terra bridge, which connects to 5 different blockchains. Ethereum is one of them. Solana is one of them. Right now, it's not really being used, and it's operational as far as I can tell. But people aren't using it. So I'm really excited to see what happens when, Wax, the king of, NFTs in a sense, bridges to Ethereum, and how that's going to be a game changer. Because I'm not expecting I'm not expecting the floodgates to open and us being sitting at the bottom of Niagara Falls getting, washed down the river. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a trickling because of the IP rights and stuff on Wax. But for like, I like to parallel it to this, right? Like there's a way that you can get into crypto, right? And when you get into crypto, you see that 9 to 5 job that you're doing every day is a little bit crazy. You're going to work, you're working 9 to 5, you're getting paid by someone to do something that you will never see a return out of, other than that pocket money, right? And that's kind of the way that I feel about Ethereum right now at this point. You have all of these people that are spending shit tons of money to mint and buy and purchase things on Ethereum when there's a better blockchain out there. Now, am I saying that like Wax should rule the world? No, I'm not saying that. Would I like it to? Sure. Would I be the ultimate Wax whale? No, he would, but not me. Right? Like, but what I think is really interesting, what I think will come out of all of this is, more eyes on Wax, and the more eyes on Wax, the better. I don't think we're going to take the piper from Ethereum. I think there's always going to be those ETH heads that are, criticizing Wax for not having good original art and shit like this. But I mean, let's face it. I mean, we got some pretty solid IP. We got some of the smartest people in the business working on the back end of it, and wanting to connect to it. And I'm just really excited about, where the future goes. So I think that this Ethereum bridge thing, whether it works out or not, is going to be really good for the ecosystem. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just kind of my take.
Well, I know for a fact the big boys are looking at Wax.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually buying up and just not saying anything.
I think you're right, TC. I mean, for the big brands, I mean, it's the only way you can scale this. I mean, like, how else are you going to be able to, cover your marketing costs, be able to, attach it to the mainstream by paying gas fees of any sort? It's not going to be your customer acquisition costs would be out the roof. Like, that'd be insane. So I don't think they're willing to do that. But like with the Wax thing, that's why I think a lot of them come over this way anyway. They can hop into this. The tech is real easy to use. It's eco safe. So if they have people coming after them like, hey, you're killing the planet, they could be like, this is carbon neutral. We're doing this the right way. And on top of it, it's to me, it's like box tops. I was talking to the prankster who's in the chat right now, where it's like, it builds an endless cycle of attachment, with airdrops. Let's just say companies can start marketing products where you hold that product in your wallet. And because you hold it in your wallet, you're getting coupons, you're getting maybe free, gifts, maybe free shirts. It turns into a whole different game. And I think that's coming as well. And especially with things starting to bridge with this cross-chain stuff, I think that's when it's really going to start to change and getting away from these gas fees. I think that's really when things are going to pump. And I think that the mainstream will slowly start to walk into this because, I mean, at this point, I think 97% of America and the world do not know what this even is. You know, they don't even know what's going on. So,
I mean, just so this is like news. I don't even think I don't even think I told TC this, but I just got my dad his first crypto wallet.
No way.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's awesome. You know, one of my friends, Kev, I sent the money over to him, and he just sent me, or he's going to be sending me over the wax, and then he wants me to buy Ken token. Because my dad,
nice.
Because I've known Ken since we were kids, so
since you guys were in diapers, not kids, diapers.
Basically. But he's like, I want my first NFT to be one of Ken, so you can give me that Ken token I keep seeing on Facebook every day. That'd be nice. I was like, I'll make it happen.
Way to go, Dad.
Like what happens, because I think this is coming too, right? Like what happens in a couple of years where all kids want for Christmas is that toy in the toy box at Toys R Us, that in order to get it you have to have a fucking NFT, because that's coming, right? Like we've already seen it. We've seen it go both ways. We've seen it do all of this stuff. So it's like, I think, you know, it's gonna be like Happy Meals to a whole new level, really. I mean, it's going to force people through the door when the gaming revolution takes place, when the art and toy revolution takes place. Like there's already all of these projects that, you know, if you have that NFT in your wallet, you get a physical, you know, 3D model rendition of one of the characters, right? And so what happens when all of a sudden, you know, Dragon Ball Zs all come with like, you know, a little, or like Dragon Ball Z NFTs all come with a little barcode that enables you to get those toys and put them on your actual shelf, right?
Yeah, that's totally going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I loved what you're saying about bridges. You know, the cool thing about these bridges and the infrastructure and the connections that they make is bridges benefit both sides of the community that they connect, right? And so as we see more and more of these bridges, you know, one of the things that Corey likes to say is rising tides lift all ships. And what we're seeing with bridges and connections, and not just between chains, but between communities, you know, one of the things that we've been talking to Ken, you mentioned the Ken token, we've been talking to Ken about, you know, how do we connect our communities? How do we have a liquidity pool pair between our tokens where not only are we just saying that rising tides lift all ships, that as we experience this new wave of bridge and connection, it benefits all of us. We're actually seeing the infrastructure built with things like BlueDAC, where the communities are able to connect themselves in a very real and beneficial way to benefit both sides of that connection.
Now, you also brought up BlueDAC. Now, can you enlighten us a little bit about BlueDAC? So I saw Corey post something earlier that was just BlueDAC with all these collection names, and I don't totally know what's going on with it, but I want in and I want to know what's going on. So please,
you can totally get in, and all you have to do really right now to play the game, if you want to do that, is go over to Alcor, and there's a whole bunch of blue coin pairs that are set up. There's blue lithium pairs, there's blue Shipple pairs, there's blue everything pairs over there. But like, I think I'll try to pull it up here because you asked me for links, but in about, I don't know, a little over 14 hours is my guess, or 15, 16 hours is my guess. On Nifty Blocks, you will be able to buy the first BlueDAC memberships. Now, if you go over there, you'll notice some memberships are $80 and some of them are $180 and some of them they're not, but they could be 8,800 million bucks. What is the difference between these memberships? Nothing. You get in early. The memberships are tiered to the levels that you get in. But yeah, like just definitely, well, Marty explains this because he knows a little bit more than me. While he explains this, keep that in the back of your mind. In about 14 hours, you'll be able to buy the first memberships, and those memberships will allow you to play the BlueDAC game. So take her away, Marty.
One of the things that I love with what's evolving and what is being created, I won't say has been created because, I mean, we were literally brainstorming on it last night while we were setting up liquidity pools in preparation for this membership sale that happens at noon Eastern tomorrow. And I have my clicker finger ready because, you know, those memberships start at $10 a piece and then they'll never be that cheap again. They go up in price from there. And what's cool is right now you can buy them for Wax, you can buy them for Nifty, you can buy them for Upliftium, you can buy them for Yoshi Bucks. The Shipple community is actually working with Nifty Blocks, friggin' awesome platform. Shipple is going to be a purchase option here in some of the collections here coming in the next week or two, and seeing that interconnectivity is incredible. And what BlueDAC does, I don't know if people have paid attention to the DeFi hype and FOMO that's happened on some other chains, with things like PancakeSwap and all the speculative interest that goes into these, whether it's Shiba Inu or, the Dogecoin or, all these meme, almost joke tokens, but all of a sudden they go crazy, right? Well, the question is, why do they go crazy? Well, it's because of speculative interest that's really built from some of the DeFi tools that BlueDAC is now bringing to Wax. But rather than just be a hype FOMO machine where it creates spikes and crashes, it allows communities to connect with each other. There's 21 partners. They're going to start tomorrow, and then they're quickly going to add many more community partners. But there's going to be pairs between Blue and each of these communities, but then each of the communities will also be able to create pairs and create those connections and create that opportunity where if I want to play another game, but all I have is my one game token, if I have to sell everything on the market at a loss, pay the the sales fees to be able to buy into the next one, it's a loss every time, right? And so people have been having to sell everything to play the next thing. Well, now if the communities connect with one another and you can just trade and swap both your tokens, and then spoilers, swap NFTs coming soon, without having to sell everything at a loss and then FOMO into the next thing, it's going to strengthen each community because that cross connection, bridges flow, you travel both ways across bridges. It's not just a one-way flow.
Right. Well, this is a great idea. I mean, how long has this been in the plans? Has this been in the back of your minds for a while, or is this something kind of new that you guys kind of discovered? Because I love the idea of bridging the communities, because I think that that's really where the future of all this
56 and a half days. Exactly.
56 and a half?
What's cool about Dreams?
There was a half in there.
Space.
What did you say?
He's pretty close. The cool thing about Dreams and Imagination.
That idea.
Yeah, in the crypto space, you go from dream and imagination and idea to reality like that, and that's what's happened with this. Is a week ago the conversation was, should we have BlueDAC? And then tomorrow it launches. Like, how crazy is that?
That
right?
is
Where
so
it can
insane.
just go like that.
Yeah, I know Blue and Corey have been working along behind the scenes to put this together for a long time. And not like a long time in the crypto space is, like you said, since yesterday.
56 and a half days.
But we had a stream last week, Corey and I, on Thursday. I guess almost a week ago today, where we had a Juan from Nifty Blocks on, and just to pick up where Marty was, where one of the many important things that Marty trailed off on. Nifty Blocks is doing some really interesting things. So they're launching their own marketplace, which is basically going to be the competitor to Atomic Hub. They're using the Atomic standard. So when you buy things on Nifty Blocks, part of that kickback will still go to the Atomic standard, and they're okay with it. And I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be, because they're still using that standard. But now you have the option of playing in the Nifty Blocks market. You have the option of getting whitelisted on another platform, and you have the option of buying things or selling things on that platform and getting Nifty in return. Now, what a key part of this component is by adding other tokens. So now you've got Wax, you've got Nifty, but they're also adding Lithium, they're adding Yoshi, and they're adding Shipple just to start. So you'll actually be able to post or pick up assets with these tokens. And so in parallel to what Kate's done by tokenizing some of these NFTs, right now you have a whole market over on Alcor that is essentially connected to this. And so what BlueDAC will allow people to do is BlueDAC will allow people to take those LP tokens that are sitting in your wallet for providing liquidity and park them in a place that actually gains you more rewards, right? So think about it as it adds another layer to the stability of it all, because now not only are you providing liquidity, but you're providing liquidity in a way that those LP tokens now have value. They're not just they're not just these LP tokens that are sitting there doing nothing in your wallet. You actually are able to stake them. You're actually able to use them. You're actually able to pick various things up, and it's just creating the whole ecosystem in a bigger, grander type of thing, right? I've seen the pitch deck. I haven't played around with it, Again, like I know a little bit about it, but this wasn't my brainchild. But it's just really interesting what's going to happen, and you can kind of already see the effects if you click on that last private. Click on that last private NiftyBlocks.com page, Nifty. You can see what's going to happen tomorrow with the release. Like as Marty said, there's going to be like releases, all of these tokens across the board for the membership. Now, you can get out there with your clicker finger like Marty. I might do the same thing, and you can buy up a shit ton of these. That's cool, but you only actually ever need one. If you have one, you can play the game. Now, why would Marty buy more than one? Well, I mean, there's a limited supply. This isn't like Lithium where it's just going to go to ad infinitum and beyond. So there might be a speculative game here to be played. Or maybe you want to give some to your friends. Like, you know, maybe Mello wants to give one to his dad and say, hey, like, you know, something like this, right? I would never give my dad anything DeFi because he'd probably fucking bet the house and lose it. I love him, but, you know, not his cup of tea. But like, I just think it's going to be really interesting. And you'll see, like, as these come out, they'll level themselves down in the dollar value amount. But it just depends. You can be a whale, a music whale, or a meme whale, or an upliftium whale, and you still get to play the game. You don't have to go to the exchange. You don't have to transfer these coins over. I mean, I do because I can't hold on to anything. I keep spending this shit. But like technically speaking, this NFT in a sense becomes the cross-chain membership card that like I know I've been waiting for, right?
Yeah, this is great, man. And this starts tomorrow. It's 16 hours from now, guys. So wherever you're out in the planet, definitely get into this because I think that this is going to be amazing. I can't even believe that you guys are all doing this so quickly. Like in 1 week, all this stuff's popping up, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, like I can't, like you said. I mean, the space just explodes so quickly, you know, and you're not almost ready for it. It's almost like too much. You're like, whoa, like that.
Actually, be thankful that the big whales aren't coming in. Like all those people that you want to come in, be thankful they're not because they just swallow everything right up.
They would.
Says the big whale.
What are you talking about? When it's over there, you're like, oh, well, you better hurry up because I'm buying 10 of these. So, and if you don't, well, then
I mean, lucky for me, I'm gonna be able to like in about 4 hours time, I'm gonna go into the market. I'm gonna scoop everything up, you know, because like noon in Japan comes way earlier. So just send me triple the amount. I'll get some shit for you guys. Like I'll quote that's how it works.
Hey Marty, tell me about this the scoreboard here, the NFT show.
That's awesome. Thanks for showing that. We actually announced this on our show today, but we're in the middle of a 24-hour incentive snapshot where the top 20 that contribute to the Nifty shill liquidity pool are going to end up with rewards. And we just launched this today. So this is a brand new one. This is actually kind of an example. This isn't the BlueDAC website, but this is an example of the type of community incentives that are going to be added for some of these pools, because there's going to be a Nifty Blue pool. There's going to be a shill Blue pool. But then the communities will actually be able to do cross connection as well, in addition, through the Blue platform to have additional incentives. And this is something we've been kind of experimenting with in the Shibble community, where we incentivize these LP pools. And so there's a 24-hour snapshot happening right now. Everybody, the top 20 that are in the pool are all going to get a Shibble pack. And then we're going to do a drawing for, anybody that's not in the top 20. They're going to do 3 giveaways for anybody that contributes is going to have a chance to win. And so we usually do a month-end snapshot for our rewards as well. But to really highlight this, we did a 24-hour snapshot.
Who's got the highest score there?
It's EVJB4.wham. I don't know who that maybe.
Winning.
Somebody's up there. They're at 116 Nifty shill LP own. That's actually... You
just know that TC's that guy that like gets called down. He's standing in the front row. He's the guy that's on the stream, for the whole hour, just bidding $1 more to get on the Price is Right stage. He's like, yeah, what was $1 more every time. You just know that's him.
Hey guys, really quick, while I just have some people in the room still, if you guys want to enter a giveaway, I'm going to do a DeFi music pack. Just type #Zap into the YouTube chat, and I'll spin this at the end of the show. Anyway, back to where we were. So the Shipple coin is going to go BlueDAC tomorrow as well. Like I'm still kind of confused on where we go. Like when I get the BlueDAC, am I going to Alcor to handle most of these transactions then? Is that going to be the hub where all this is going to be happening?
Yes, all 21 pools are actually set up on Alcor right now. So you could kind of get in front of the game. If you have some blue, you can get in, add liquidity to some of these pools. If you don't have any blue, you can trade for it, in the pools, but they're all pretty, they just started. And so they're all pretty thin. What will happen is as these pools deepen, you'll be able to swap back and forth with a lot less price impact. And so that's the goal. That's the reason that we would participate in these liquidity pools, is to provide depth for swaps so that we can do it without major price impact. As those pools deepen, it's great for the whole community, and the people contributing not only get the very minimal earnings and fees that you get, that 0.3% in the liquidity pool itself that shows on Alcor.
Right.
What you then will also receive is the additional incentive that the Blue platform is providing. And so all of that information will be released by them. That's not my spoiler to give, but it's the incentives that we see will be the game changer for the industry, because, the liquidity pools have been there forever.
Right.
At 0.3%, nobody's excited about it, right?
Sure.
But with additional incentives, all of a sudden you calculate that ROI, where if you put in this amount and then you get an incentive of this amount, not financial advice, but man, I'm whaling in tomorrow.
Yeah. And you're saying that also NFTs might be part of this as well down the line, because is Alcor doing NFTs? Do I remember that
in a way, they're already a part of it, right? Yoshi has a blue pool set up already. I think Lithium has a blue pool set up already, right? So if they're not NFTs, but they're through that Kate contract that allows you to take those, Upliftium NFTs and pop them over to Alcor. Now, Alcor wasn't necessarily planning on doing any of this stuff, but there might be some things happening in the background now where they're looking at it and they're like, oh yeah, maybe we should do that too. We're not quite sure.
I'm sure.
They're getting wise.
The one thing I will say, and there's a lot of spoilers that aren't mine to give, and the platform is being, devved out zeros and ones right now as we speak. So I'll let Corey drop those spoilers. But one of the things I will say is the community tools that they have planned to enable and empower all of the communities to do all of the things we want to do, they are creating the opportunity for our ideas, dreams, and imaginations to be functionally and logistically possible. And that is amazing. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's really amazing, guys. I'm super excited about this. I'm going to be probably whaling in as well myself. I was excited when I saw the Ken token 2 weeks ago. I was excited about this. Yeah. Now I got all these other things happening, which are everything's just moving so fast. It's so nice. So how about you, Mello? What do you think about all this, man? Tell me about what your thoughts are.
It's blowing my mind, to be honest with you. Just to see, because I took a little hiatus for a couple weeks, and then I come back, hearing about Blue Deck, hearing about Shipple, hearing about Ken token on your podcast for the first time. That I was not expecting.
Yeah.
So that kind of blew my mind. So of course, he's like, oh, and then Miggy was like, oh, by the way, tonight's the last night. And I'm like, oh well, hang on, we get a couple, So it's just crazy to see the levels of different avenues that's going to be coming up and just connecting everyone. And I know I'm going to hear from this guy up in the corner. He's going to be like, oh, did you get it? Did you get it? No, I got 100 of them.
So and TC, cool stuff's happening in Uplift as well, man. There's some really cool stuff happening that I saw Sebastian from Digital Acid doing. I see a lot of Bored Ape Yacht Clubs hanging out in his gallery. I'm actually wearing a shirt right now, a BA.
Oh, nice.
But I'm seeing this. That means something's cross-chaining. Something's cross-chaining in there. And I'm excited to know about what's happening with that. I have to have him back on the show to talk about that too.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to drop any secrets or anything, and I don't know any, because that's why I need him on the show. I need to ask him what the hell's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
But TC has a mega store that's coming as well. You've been building out something, TC, with the Mello as well, and you're going to be selling some stuff in there. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to in our tub gallery. We're going to do that one first, which is how many floors you got in that? 7?
Yep.
7 floors,
and
we're so we're actually still digging out but we're setting up. It's going to be stores, shirts, shoes, hats. I mean, we're going to try everything. We're just going to put everything in there and see what happens.
Heck yeah.
Plus, we expanded our portal room, so we're up to 43 spots that we can put portals now. And
awesome. Hey, by the way, Mello, I'm going to add you today to add some more portals. I'd love to be part of your portal connection to go around places, because we did that last show when we went through some of your portals, and it was so cool to experience Uplift that way, where you're just popping in and out of different spaces so easily. And now go ahead. Go
ahead. Can we say who the next 3 portals are going?
Yeah.
Can we say that? No, I'm talking to Mello.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Mello, say yes.
Yeah, I already said yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're putting 3 new portals in, and we'll be connecting to everything that MBlue's doing.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And hopefully we can get Chipple in there too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Heck yeah.
I got the logo for him that we'll use. Want to help spread that awareness. So why not have a portal?
Yeah. And all the big boys, all the big platforms will have a special room.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, and like our if you come to our plot, if you go, it's actually below the nightclub. TC and I spent a better part of like a half day digging that out, and because we wanted to use dynamite, but now we have a nightclub right above, so we had to dig it out by hand. So, and then surprisingly enough, some guy on the other side of us thought, what the hell? I'm just going to dig into their plot, and then I guess maybe try to gain access to the portals. So
no way, really?
We were like, no, that's not happening. We blocked it off, and then we were like, TC's like, you should put a sign there, and so we put a sign up, and then we enclosed, and we were like, hey, we got something special going on, like a crazy bill. If you're trying to be part of it, hit me up on Telegram or Twitter. Right. So, and then I wind up putting in 43 portals down at the bottom.
That's great.
If we knock out the lava fountain, we could probably add about 3 more, which will probably, that'll put us up to 45 plus the 3 active ones that we have, and we got 1 more up top. But then again, we also have other plots that, like one of mine, I have 20, and I can just keep going up on all 4 walls as well, What we're trying to do really essentially is just connect everybody, because not everyone is in a position to have the level of Upliftium to afford a portal or even a picture install. So, and if there's something that we can work out with people, and that way we can bring you into the loop, because that's what it's essentially all about, is connecting everyone to everyone.
Yeah.
Let's face it, now that active rewards are on, not everyone's really flying, because they're like, oh crap, I gotta walk, or I want to walk, or I want to take the train. Well, you can walk right through the portal, So, and what's better than plot hopping, Instead of, you're cutting down 5-10 minutes of either walking or flying around because of coordinates,
Definitely. Yeah, it was interesting. It was so fun to be able to actually go through your portals just a little bit that I did, because it was just like, oh my God, I can't. That would take me so long if I had to actually walk that or fly that. Oh my God, I would have been there for quite some time. It was cool to experience it so quickly. And it kind of also gives a little sci-fi feel to it, a little quantum leap, kind of pop through, and I like that. That's pretty fucking cool. So.
Well, because and the best part about it is the best part about it is not walking from plot to plot. You're not getting rewards, which I think is really cool, because now you have to actively choose what you want to see and how fast you want to see it, and you're basically forcing people to optimize their time over their rewards, which I think is going to be really interesting, because the more that people do that, the more great builds are going to come out, and the more people are going to try to entice other people to stay on their plots and view their galleries and check out their games and all of this stuff. So I think we're getting into a really interesting space where walking along the rails that are undeveloped might be fun for 10 minutes, but after that it's like, God damn it, where's a portal? Why did I take this highway? There's no exit.
It's pretty funny. I was just telling TC this earlier. I was like, hopefully if Corey does this, but like if everyone is able to with their own choice, but shut off flying on your bot, how funny would that be though? Because you could just record that and just like, oh, there goes somebody. Nope, not anymore. Just boom. Like, did somebody get that on video? I need that.
Now, the active rewards, is it the time spent on that plot of land? Is that how it works? Like you're getting active
$20.
I'm gonna say no. Okay. But I'm also gonna say that the first season of active rewards was very clearly defined. How you would get rewarded in the uplift, and it took horizontal blocks and the amount that was traveled, and a couple other things. It counted mine carts, it counted rails, it counted walking. It didn't count flying. It didn't count swimming. And for the most part, I think people were happy, but we noticed a few people gaming it, and we just decided that it was going to be better if we could create a non-gameable system. So what we've decided to do for round 2 is we've decided to up the ante, add value to what you will be rewarded with, and not tell anyone about how.
I love it.
Right. And then I'll be 100% honest. I don't even know. I could probably dig deep down into our files and figure out how I would get rewarded, but I don't even know how we're getting rewarded. I think maybe 3 or 4 people max. I'm guessing 1 or 2 have actually paid attention, actually know how these rewards are working. The rest of us don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know if Corey knows exactly point by point. I know we've all been in the meetings, we've all talked about it, but we're just really anti people gaming the system. We want people to go around, and we want people to come and visit Uplift Tower and see the gratitudes and jump through that portal, into the loop, and go and check out what Mello and TC are building, and walk through some of these other loop galleries and check that out. And I would imagine that people who are active in the uplift, no matter whether they're building, no matter whether they're walking around, no matter whether they're touring, no matter whether they're doing events, I would imagine that they'll probably make out better in season 2 than they did in season 1, because we're just going to be rewarding people for way more activities within the gameplay.
I'd rather not know. I'd rather not know anything. I just want to build, play, and enjoy the game without, thinking, okay, I got to walk over there to get a point. I don't want to know. I just want to do my thing and go.
And you have a point too, right? Somebody like Mello, who's in there constantly grinding, constantly building. We had builders that were like that were oh man, okay, I'm just going to walk around and I'm not going to build anything for this whole season because I'm not getting rewarded. Mm-hmm. And that that was never the intent, right? The intent was to give people. Sure. So season 1 was kind of a test phase to make sure that it could be done. But now, I think there's going to be a lot more ways for you to get rewarded, and that's all I can really say.
Nice. Now, do you think you guys will ever leverage this lithium on Alcor? We're actually going to probably use it as some reward system for players in Uplift somehow? Instead of give them some kind of lithium directly through Alcor and connect it that way, even though you're not connected?
Well, I mean, it already is, right? It was never intended to be something that was on the open market. Sure. And so if you're in enter.theuplift.world, you'll see your uplifting balance. And at the end of every week during each season, because there's an off season now, the rewards will go out, and those rewards are going out in Upliftium and in Wax. So there's a slight change, but I'm not actually sure if people know, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, you will be getting these Upliftium rewards. Now, it's not like a bank account. You're right. It's not like you just get paid interest. Hey, wait a minute. I don't get paid interest anymore. I have to pay money to keep my shit in the bank. Do you remember when I was a kid and I used to get paid money to keep my stuff in the bank? I mean but that's essentially what that's essentially. I was so excited for that first bank account. I actually got a passive income from the bank. That doesn't happen anymore, but it does happen if you're at enter.theuplift.world. And so you can not go in the game or in the metaverse for technically a year and those will build up and they will accumulate. But if you want to take those and actually utilize them in the open market, then you have to play the further game. You actually have to move them to that contract, and that contract releases the lithium on the other side. So I don't think that we will ever implement like a lithium into the uplift. Don't quote me on that because it could change, but I think the general plan is to use those NFTs, those NFTs that, you know, have become tokenized in a way now, and that will be the basis for everything going forward. Again, I mean, things changed yesterday, things change next week, things are always going to change, but from my 30,000 foot view perspective, I think this is the perfect way to do it, honestly. And thank you for the Kate guys and everyone else who's like, you know, made it available for me to now go and buy Shipple with lithium, because like that wasn't possible a week ago. Right.
And now, how long has Shipple been around, Marty? How long have you been actually?
A long time.
So the origin story is kind of funny because it's all about Corey. We call him the grandfather of Shipple because he's so friggin' old. Joke on Corey. I was hanging out in a crypto group back early 2017, and we were bagging on another crypto token that rhymes with Shipple that I won't name because I don't want to get sued. But
you don't want to send those bad ripples of negativity through the universe.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I mean, back then everybody was very tribalized, and like the Tron guys hated the EOS guys, and the EOS guys hated Tron, and so there was all this tribalism, right? And everybody's like, my token is the best, and that means everyone else sucks because I want everybody to come to my token. And so we're bagging on, we're making jokes. And then Corey's like, you know, I could make a better token than this other one that rhymes with Shipple. And a few of us dared him. We're like, I dare you. He comes back 2 weeks later and he's like, hey, you guys, I minted a token on EOS. It's called Shipple because it's the king of all shit coins. And it's a joke and it's hilarious. And we all laughed. And he created a Facebook group. And a couple months later, there's 2,000 people in it sharing memes. So cool. And like there's the community that was built, because what happened was we discovered a purpose. Yes, the social side is fun. Yes, memes are fun. Yes, contests and sending each other this joke token is great. Monopoly money, woo. But what happened was Greg got fed up with people asking him for crypto. And because Corey had given Greg this huge pile of Shipple and told everybody, hey, if you want some, Greg's giving it away for free. So he's getting hit up left and right, and he got sick of it. And he said, okay, that's it. No more free crypto. If you want some, go out and give $20 to your local homeless shelter or food bank. Bring me that receipt, and I'll give you 1 million Shipple. What he didn't know that he had done is he had just set the anchor point for the value of Shipple. And he had given it use case, and he had given it real world value, because in the next 24 hours, $700 was raised. Not that went to the Shipple community, not that went to the team. It went to local nonprofits in people's hometowns. And they were enabled, empowered, and activated to do real world good for this funny money joke token that that moment no longer was a joke. And so then the joke became, hey, Corey, you tried to tell a joke. It didn't go over very well. It turned into reality.
Right.
And that launched us. And we started on EOS. Transaction fees went high. We paused for a while. We ended up coming over to Wax because, you know, cheap, free, easy transactions, and it just works. And now the community being able to transition and be a part of the Wax ecosystem, and then bridge back to EOS, and bridge back to Tron, and bridge back to BSC, and bridge to ETH, and Icon, and Matic, and Sys, because we have a belief. We believe that if we create a way to gamify generosity, which was discovered here several years ago by accident, if we have a way to gamify generosity, it's likely that many other communities may want to participate in that. And so if we create bridges and we create accessibility so that people can come and participate in giving and in doing real world good, we believe we can help change the world. And it's not change one person's world, because we believe that every nonprofit is local to somebody. And if you look out your front door and you say, that nonprofit is doing good, I want to support them, but I only have this. If you can exponentially multiply the good that you can do by bringing that nonprofit, nominating them, bringing them to the crypto community who wants to participate, who's amazingly generous, you can exponentially multiply the good that you can do to change the world right outside your front door. Sorry, I soapbox a little. I'm so excited.
No way. I love that. That was a perfect way to kind of present that. I mean, that's it's amazing what you guys are doing. I love the idea of the philanthropic way of handling these things. You guys working with building the school in Haiti with the uplift art stuff that was going on, and and everything else. I think that's so important. I think NFTs are such a good avenue for nonprofits as well, to raise money an easy way, get people onboarded onto a crypto kind of space, and then make it easy for you to transition that into collectibles as well, so that not only are they giving, but they're ending up with a collectible or something in the end that they can pass on. I just love what you guys are doing, man. I just love all this stuff. I think it's
Shipple rock.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, and the example and the foundation that MBlue created with that win-win-win culture mentality, where we want everyone to win and we want to do real world good. And then the example that he brought forth with the uplift art and the charity and the Haitian school,
right.
He has created and demonstrated the opportunity for others to follow in his footsteps. And we're just excited to do that. I mean, that fits right in with our heart, our culture, from where we came from 2 or 3 years ago. And now in Wax, in the uplift, in this community, we have the opportunity to do what we see is now possible.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Again, though, it's funny that you say it fits within our culture, because it doesn't. And this is the problem. It doesn't fit within our culture, and this is how it was born in a sense in the first place, right? Like back in the day, before there was the Uplift World, before there was any of this stuff, we were working to create Uplift Nation. And Uplift Nation was supposed to take charity and put it on the blockchain in a transparent, accountable way. But the real life structures that exist don't allow for something like that to be possible. You're taxed through the yin yang, right? You don't, because the real world is so slow to pick this stuff up and adopt it. There are some benefits, right? It is the Wild West. They don't know what the hell's going on, but because they don't know what the hell's going on, it makes it almost impossible to donate crypto and get a tax break in return, right? All of these things that were causing problems for us in Uplift Nation have now, in a sense, been solved by kind of adopting this almost pro-profit, higher grade, donative win-win-win mentality, if that makes sense, right? Before it was just hey, let's have this system where people can donate to their favorite charities. We'll build a platform for it. And now it's holy shit, we are not working for free anymore. We're actually enabling people and artists and musicians to come in here and make a living wage doing this, and still kicking back a shit ton of value to these charities, to these organizations, and to the people who are coming in and are involved in the ecosystem. So I think that for me is what is super fascinating, is we don't know where this is going to go, right? We really don't. We could end up with community gardens in Detroit, for example, right? And people in Detroit, there's poor people in Detroit too. That's all I'll say, right? We can go big and bold. And one of the things that I really liked about what the story that Marty told there with Shipple is I'm a professor, and I've worked in the States. One of the states that I worked in was Hawaii. And there's a lot of Hawaiians who are leaving Hawaii because they can't afford to live there. They just can't afford to do that, right? And so as Americans, we look at and we teach our children, and we look at the world and we say, we should go overseas and we should help these people that are less fortunate than us. We should go to Africa and we should try to fix their economy. We should, go into places like Haiti and we should, donate to natural disasters and relief, which is all true. But not enough people are looking across the street in their own backyard and realizing that there are all of these people right here in our own nation, in our own country, that need that help as well. And Greg and Shipple took that upon themselves. $20 might not be a lot, but it's a hell of a lot to get people off the street on a cold winter's night, and at least they'll be alive in the morning type of scenario, right? So I think that there's a nice balance there between what Shipple's doing in terms of being grounded in these real world aspects at home, and what Uplift is doing, looking at the broader picture of beyond our borders type of scenario. And I'm just really excited to have Shippletopia as kind of a founding partner in a way of a different aspect of all of this charity stuff that we're doing, right?
And charity. When you guys were doing Uplift in the very beginning, was charity like your center point the whole time? Like, were you kind of?
Yeah, I mean, it was always the center point. Like, we were a small DAC, and what we were looking at building, and we kind of did in a way, but what we were looking at building was a platform whereby charities could come in, they could be registered, and people could almost donate their funds towards like where they wanted them to go. Right. But we ported away from it because it just wasn't feasible. It just wasn't possible. And so Blue kind of went away, and he came back a couple weeks later. He's like, "Hey, how about I release this music video, the first music video ever on the blockchain, and then I just donate like all or 50% of the profits to Haitian Roots, because that's who I really want to help right now." And he did it, and it was nuts. And then Corey came in. Right. And Corey decided to do the remake with Blue, and they were like, okay, let's do this release, and let's put some of these funds away because we want to have funds to be able to develop more about this company, but let's see. And I think the goal was to raise $450,000 to build a new school in Haiti, and depending upon what the price of wax does. We're already around that now. There might be more than a couple of schools that go up, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Just
the
from
whole
that
country.
one NFT.
That.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, because that's one of the things that attracted me to the Uplift world as I kind of went into it more. I was just like, oh, I really like that they're trying to give back. It's not just a cash grab and I'm gone. It's like there's actually a little bit of purpose to it, and I like that there's a lot of scalability to what you guys are doing. Being on Minecraft, that's obviously one of the most popular games on the planet, but what I also like about it is that you've kind of alpha tested this kind of environment that's amazing. I mean, just to even fly around the environment to see everything that everyone has built over time is just it's overwhelming a little bit that so much has been done so quickly. I mean, you guys have only been doing this since the beginning of the year, around there, is that right? When Uplift World actually went live, correct?
It's April, May.
So for all the amount of work that's in there, it's
crazy.
It's unbelievable,
Next level.
Shout out to all the builders, and your community is so strong, with all the different podcasts, and then the walkthroughs through the environment, and I think it's really. I can't wait to see it when it actually ports to where it's public. More people can come into those servers. And I think that's really when it's going to open up to a different positioning for you guys, more than anything, And I think at that point, it'd probably be a lot easier to bring back nonprofits and incorporate, the things that maybe you guys even started with, because it's the mainstream really that I think we're all kind of waiting for to kind of pour it in a little bit more, how do we get them in? How do we get their influence on how we move forward?
I
think that's kind of
it.
where we're at now.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's coming.
Yeah. Oh, I know it is.
Yes.
Probably sooner than later. It's at the speed of everything moving. It's like it seems like in 2 weeks everything could change yet again. So
I want shit to slow down so that I can keep up, because seriously, I don't have time.
I feel
to
you,
do
Jimmy.
anything.
I feel you.
I'm totally on the same page.
I feel you.
Totally
The amount of
page.
information I intake daily. I wake up early in the morning. I'm up late at night, and it just seems like it's just a constant study hall. It just doesn't stop. You're trying to keep up. A new coin pops up, a new marketplace pops up.
It's all the new that's coming out, and
exactly.
Sometimes I try not to pay attention to it that much because it's just I'll hear about it in my Telegram nonstop, multiple chat rooms. I got people hitting me up in the DM, Discord. I mean, there's hundreds of chat rooms with this stuff. So sometimes it's best to just unplug for a hot minute, just shift your gears to something else. You'll still see it, and then next thing you know, when you decide to pop back in, everything will be there. And next thing you know, oh, we're on the next level of that. It's
says the guy who disappeared for 2 weeks and now he doesn't even recognize his back. He's like, what's happening in here? That house wasn't there. What's going on?
Well,
I mean, seriously, it takes me every day. It takes me consistently longer to figure out what the hell is going on after I've slept for 4 hours. I wake up, I go to bed later. I wake up earlier. I get less sleep, and it takes me like more time to figure out what happened during that time. And it's like, you know, I understand why people don't come to Wax. Honestly, I do, because like we're really small here, and like it's almost impossible to keep on top of all of the shit that's happening, right?
Yeah.
So if you're over at any project, any chain, and you're trying to figure out a new place to go, like I spent the whole day the other day trying to figure out like stuff about Terra and another blockchain, and I kind of got my heads wrapped around it. But like I already had a few assets over there, and I wanted to do it. Like, you know, I'm looking at like coins that I staked like over a year ago, and I'm going into like my notes and I'm clicking on it so that I can like pull some of these stakeable coins off, and they're not there anymore. Like that link is broken, and now I've got to spend like, you know, probably at least another day figuring out where they are. They're on the blockchain. Where did they go? So like I don't blame people for not, you know, getting into this system and engaging, but like it's just like there's a private group that I was lucky enough to be invited to that focuses on all the people who are building this uplift loop, right? Like every time I go in there and I like scroll through these posts, like there's no possible way for me to even keep up with that channel, and it's a private channel of people building shit that like I should know about, right?
Jimmy, I created the channel. I can't even keep up.
Yeah,
so much. Yeah.
And then also you got, you know, and you guys were bringing up Nifty Blocks earlier too. You know, Nifty Blocks with this new marketplace as well. It's a game changer as well. That's I think going to really change the way things are kind of being sold. I've been using Nifty Blocks since they first started, and it's my go-to. And now that you have a marketplace, it's actually easier to deal with. You know, when you go to a drop, you click on the market and it brings up just that collections marketplace. You don't have to go put in a search. And if you've ever searched on Atomic Hub, if you don't type it in correctly, things don't pull up correctly.
Yeah.
It's a very confusing search engine. And so Nifty Blocks kind of eliminates that, because if you just know the person's collections page, you'll be able to see everything. And that's
and now with this new marketplace coming out, there like the ante's being up, because what's going to happen now is like somebody like Mello, who has his collection over on Atomic, or someone like Marty who has his collection over on Atomic, they're going to be able to go and mint there, and it's going to show up directly in the Nifty Place marketplace, right? And so then what I'm curious to see what happens is like there's a really big there's some issues with Atomic. Like they're doing a great job, but you know, we have Jonah on the show once monthly, and he comes in and he tells us about, you know, what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build. But like with the uplift, I'm sure with not quite yet, Marty, but strap in, because there's a moon shot with Shipletopia there that's about to like give you a bottleneck. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. But all of these great projects, right? You get to the point where it's difficult to keep up. Like we're behind on support tickets, for example. This is one of the things that the community is like, can you fix my shit? And we're like, no, we can't. Like you're in the queue and we can't fix it, right? And we're working on like getting it better so that we can. But one of the cool things about what Nifty's doing is now, no matter what marketplace you're listed on, as long as it's using the Atomic standard, to my understanding, your assets will appear on Nifty. So what does this allow? This allows new people who might not even know about Nifty, who are on Atomic Hub, to be able to have their assets showcased there on that Nifty marketplace, right? Without having to actually list them there themselves. It allows those people who are there on the Nifty marketplace that are verified as like good content creators to have that on the backdrop of their thing as well. You know, and without having to go through the process of you know, waiting on someone to approve you on other platforms. Like it allows all of this kind of cross-chain, not cross-chain, but cross-platform capacity, because they're using the Atomic standard. And so what I'm excited to see is how, when this Nifty marketplace releases, it jump starts all of these other marketplaces to like get their shit together a little bit more, right? Like actually focus on you know, what people have been asking for, because like as Corey put it,
so this it's live, so you know, guys, it is live. It's been live actually, I think since yesterday. So
like I said, I woke up, it was 8:20, I've had one cup of coffee, I haven't spent an hour figuring out what happened.
So basically over here, when you get to Nifty, no matter what collection you're at, guys, if you go over to the left where you have your drops or my NFTs, my packs, there'll be a Nifty market. When you click that, it doesn't just take you to an open market like it does on Atomic. It actually takes you to that collections market. So anything that collection has on the secondary will be listed here. As well, you're getting rewarded to use it.
Two
That's
times.
another big, yeah,
2 times
exactly.
for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Oh, wait, I saw that right there.
Yeah,
You're right, TJ. I'm going to put that
Sebastian
up.
said that, yeah.
So Sebastian from the Digital Acid, he's in the chat, and he
What
was
up,
letting us know
legend?
it's 2 times rewards, cash back when you're in there in that marketplace. So get in there and utilize it and utilize those benefits, because I think this is just huge. And you're able to use also Nifty to pay for this, and then Shipple might be something you might be able to use as well, correct?
Coming soon.
Oh my God.
One of the things I'd like to follow on what you're saying, Jimmy, is just to relate a little bit of our experience, because we were honored and Nifty allowed us to actually front run some of their technological advancement. Even before they did their token pack drop, where you open the pack and the token automatically goes into your wallet, they allowed us to test out that system with Shipple. In our first Shipple token pack drop, when you open that pack, an amount of the token actually goes automatically to your wallet. That is a technological advancement that enables so many new gamification opportunities. One of the things that we're going to do to use that is we're going to end up with a pack within a pack within a pack, because a pack has a set amount of token that it drops. But if you want to achieve that common to mythic approach to the gamification of an amount of token that drops to your wallet, you can put a pack within a pack and have the pack that you put in be a random slot draw between a multiple collection of packs. This was something where in a conversation, there's a group with Corey and myself and Jose and Juan from Nifty. We actually brainstormed that and came to the point where we figured out how to have that gamification experience in an amount of token that you can randomly receive in a pack opening. And their team is incredible. The customer service that they offer, and they just changed their system for any level 3 collection who have 45,000 Nifty or more staked. You can actually go to them and say, hey, what if we did this? What if we had this feature? They will have the conversation with you, brainstorm it with you, and they allow that community input to logistically create the functionality that all of us want to see to really push this industry forward. They're incredible. I can't say enough good things about Nifty. They're amazing.
For now, I mean, there might be a bottleneck there in the future. And if you're having trouble understanding this, I will explain it in a very easy to understand Canadian way. Imagine you are a dog sled racer and you take your prize dog and you put it on the sled. And then you let that dog run the race. That's the pack within the pack within the pack. Just in case anyone was confused, I thought I'd bring
Can I respond to that question?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could, Marty. Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, I can. So the way their functionality works is the token is actually released upon a pack opening. And so it's not that an NFT is necessarily backed with a token where you have to burn the NFT like on Atomica. You actually can release the token through a pack opening. So you can put an NFT within a pack and then specify an amount of the token that's automatically released into the opener's wallet. So they get both the NFT and the token. And so technically it's the pack that's burnt to receive the token, not the NFT itself. So it's a little bit of a different structure.
Got it.
I think the nice thing about the whitelisting process is it's not up to one person whether they whitelist you or not, or a group of people, or it's not hanging in the balance. You're not sitting there in a queue. Again, like, I'm not criticizing so much, because I understand why the problem exists and what they're trying to do. But like, if you're having to actually go out there and stake all of these Nifty tokens in order to be like a verified creator, then you're putting something on the line. And I don't know what happens, to be honest. Like, if I go out there and I put these 45,000 Nifty on the platform and then I rip somebody else's image off, but I'm assuming that if I get caught, I lose that 45,000. I get a massive ban, and like it's probably not worth.
So Jimmy's not speaking for Nifty. Just
can I say one thing? Can I say one thing about the Shipple on the Nifty? If you go to the Nifty store where Shipple stuff is, you can't buy the million token on there, right? So the NFT that they're showing on the Nifty screen is not the million token, it's just the NFT, correct? You actually have to go to Atomic to get that. Do you know what I mean? After everybody gets the receipt, that gets sent to their wallet, but that is just an NFT now, right?
We currently don't have any drops open. I, like Jimmy, also haven't opened their collection to see their update today, so I'll have to go in and do that. But we do have packs that are available in the collection, and that include both the token and the NFTs. And then just the NFTs themselves, when you buy those don't include any token that automatically goes into your wallet. It's just the pack. When you open a pack, that's the functionality where it drops token in your wallet. So if it's not a pack and there's nothing to open, what you're looking at is just the NFT.
Yeah, that's what I want to clear.
Also has rewards. Yeah, also has rewards, but it's that pack, the Shipple token pack, or any other collection that has a token pack that they end up creating using this functionality. It's opening that pack that is what actually deposits the token in your wallet.
That's what I wanted to say. You can only get that on Atomic because there are a couple of packs on Atomic.
Did you buy them?
I bought a couple. Yeah, I bought a few.
You bought a few, yeah. They are available on secondary. We actually do have another, the sequel token pack drop that's going to happen probably first couple weeks of November. And so there will be another opportunity. But currently, the only thing that's available right now is on secondary.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys might be able to answer this, guys.
I left some for you.
You guys might be able to answer this. So, Mr. Jordan Younts, I'm going to say it because he writes it also in the chat. I hate my YouTube name that I made circa 2007. But he wants to know, what does he need to get whitelisted? Before you had to be whitelisted on Atomic Hub, it was the only way to be listed. Now on Nifty Market is open. So are they going to have a whole different whitelisting thing where it's just about staking? Is that what you guys are basically saying?
So Jimmy, I want to hear Jimmy's answer to this as well. What I'll share is our experience. There's three answers really to that. Okay. One of the things, if you watch the shows where Nifty has been kind of sharing their view on the industry, they are hoping for and really pushing for a universal whitelisting standard where it isn't just one platform or one company deciding, holding the purse strings on that whitelisting opportunity. They want to have a universal standard that has community input. And so that's what they want. The way that it currently exists is anybody that's whitelisted on Atomic Hub is also whitelisted on Nifty Blocks. Nifty Blocks has the ability, if you contact them, have an awesome collection, be awesome, create awesome stuff, do good things for the community. You can contact them and they can list you on their platform as well. And then what happens if you aren't listed, whitelisted on Atomic Hub, you're whitelisted on Nifty, but not on Atomic Hub. And so there's currently some confusion when that happens, when a collection is whitelisted on one but not the other. And so I agree with Nifty. It makes sense for there to be a universal standard of whitelisting, but currently there's kind of three different levels that exist.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think again, I'm not part of the Nifty team. We are lucky enough to have Juan on the channel on a semi-regular basis and talk to him. And there's a lot of things that they're working on, like Marty says, that are trying to make this easier and a better process. And so I think this first kind of step about this, being able to get your collection verified, it's more about having, these levels that offer you different benefits and different bonuses, right? So if you're a level 1, a level 2, or a level 3, she's not picking my ear. She's putting my headphone back in, by the way, just so that you know. But yeah, that's gonna and how long has it been? It's been I don't know, less than a month maybe since the Nifty token sale.
Yeah, about that.
It hasn't been that long, right? And so we're already seeing this use case of Nifty tokens. And I think, what Marty's saying, I think eventually there will be a case where any of these platforms will be able to whitelist you, and it should cross back to the other ones. And I look forward to the day because then there's not this bottleneck, right?
Right.
But right now, I think probably what they need to do is they need to make sure that they're all on the same page for the whitelisting process, right? And what Marty says as well is the nice thing with Nifty Blocks, probably not after this episode, but the nice thing with Nifty Blocks is that they're really good team, and if you reach out to them and you sit down and you have a conversation with them face to face, they will know who you are, and then they can make kind of that snap decision. But there's so much shit going on in atomic markets that all of the people who are doing this process, it's more automated than it is human now.
Right.
And they're trying to fix it, but there's no possible way to like, you know, do that. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like some friends of mine, the Nasty Hooks, like they were trying to get whitelisted on Atomic for ages and ages and ages before they just decided, you know what, we're gonna go through the process of doing it on Nifty, just because it was easier, it was more, they got more assistance, they got more help, they got more feedback, and they released their drop over on Nifty. And I mean, they've said nothing but good things about it and the whole experience. And I know, Marty, you've worked with them more closely than
Oh, dude, they're awesome.
But yeah, they're just really forthcoming and giving. So I definitely and like reach out to them and see, because they've got a whole bunch of stuff that they've actually built that nobody's using. That like we found out about like last week on our Shop Talk with Nifty Bucks. You know, it was a great episode. Go back and watch that back on our channel. But Corey and I were sitting around with Juan, and all of a sudden Corey's just like, he picks up the phone and he calls M Blue in, and M Blue jumps in, and M Blue's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, you know that thing that we wanted to build? Like, Nifty already built it. It's already sitting there, right? And so like, if you pay attention and you talk to what they're doing, they've already built a whole bunch of stuff that like barely anyone knows about and barely anyone is using. And so for artists out there, for NFT collectors out there, just pay attention, because they might already have something there that will enable you
definitely,
and help you.
Check out that super blenderizer they built. That thing is super cool. So that allows you to blend cross collection, making collaborations a lot different. Yeah. So in other words, two guys, two totally different collections can now blend into something else, and you can create all these other different variables within it. It's a whole different ball game in blending, and you do have to stake Nifty for that, as well as the pre-minted packs. So currently, when you make a pack on Nifty, it has to be an unlimited supply, basically, for it to work correctly. But they created it now so that there's also a contract that is a pre-minted pack, so those packs can now be pre-minted, so people have a better chance of getting, you know, earlier mints. But you have to stake Nifty for that. So look into getting your Nifty tokens to do that, and then you can earn your Nifty tokens by buying on the market, I guess, now as well. So there's ways
you get rewards.
Exactly.
Well,
so,
and just to hit up on what the digital asset is talking about, because I didn't really explain that. What we were talking about on the stream was, how do you have artists and musicians who are co-collabing a creation, and then you have to like divvy that out when the profits come in, right? Because, you know, they got to keep the lights on. And basically what Nifty has done now is they've allowed you to essentially split from the point of purchase where those rewards go. So like, let's say, you know, Marty made a meme of something that I said, and Marty wanted to give me 10% of that. He could bake it right into the Nifty Blocks back end, where every time one of those NFTs moved, or one of those NFTs was sold, a percent cut came directly to me and my wallet, and the rest went to him. And that's just like, that's a game changer right there. That's decentralization of, you know, IP on a whole nother level that the real world hasn't even conceived yet.
Well,
and
I mean,
these guys have freaking built it, and nobody even knew about it, right? Like, it's nuts.
You know, it's similar. You know, when I saw him do that, because Solana has the ability to do that, because Solana Coin, it has an open source way of you kind of creating a store in this stuff using.
I didn't know that, so that's interesting too.
Yeah, so it's built into the contracts of Solana. So there's some benefits to the Solana contract that I think people can utilize, and I think they might have looked at that when they made this, because it's very similar to that, where you're able to actually do the split within the contract, which eliminates a whole weird collaboration thing that all of us have been having to do. You know, like where it's like, oh, you know, we finished out the payout, who calls who, you know, like it's a whole thing. You know, this makes it a much more fluid process and makes it a lot easier to handle, and knowing that everything's going to the right people, you know, which is really cool. And the fact that that's on Wax, you know, again, it goes back to, you know, why isn't Wax bigger? It's the question all of us ask, you know, because, you know, you go to the ETH network, basically all you do have is a JPEG or a GIF or a movie file, and that's it. Like, there's no packs, there's no gamification. You can't really do anything from there. And so you're building utility by taking it off chain, you know, having these clubs, having a Discord, have all this other kind of stuff. So you're not kind of staying within it. Whereas the Wax, it just gives you so many things to utilize to market continuously back to the people that you're trying to service. And and there's no gas fees, so it's always just like so amazing that we always end up in that same conversation, like, why aren't you guys adopting this, and hopefully that's going to be changing here, with the stuff we've been discussing, but it's like I just want that to happen so badly, like where things just start to become more as collector coins, his name's Coins, he was on the show a couple weeks, puts it, like become blockchain agnostic, like where it's just like we're just worried more about the actual token, no matter where it's coming from, and just being able to trade that. And then, with Nifty, I also want to know, do you guys know if Nifty is going to allow for minting as well, like on their platform, the market? Is it just going to be a secondary market, or are they planning to actually do minting?
I don't know the answer to that. All I know is that they're connecting to the atomic standard. So I think they're doing everything through that. So I would imagine if they do ever allow to be able to mint, then it would be through that standard as well. Because from my understanding, I don't think they're ever planning on moving away from that, or at least not anytime in the future, because they want to tap into that whole smart contract revolutionary thing that Atomic did, right? Like, people might have complaints with Atomic, but what they did to bring about a change in the space was absolutely amazing, 100%, right? Like, 100%. And so I think NFT recognizes this, and they recognize that, like, without that atomic standard, everything they're building wouldn't put it through the roof. So I'm not speaking for Nifty either. They might change their mind, 10 days down the road. I don't know. But from the last time that I talked to Juan, that was the impression that I got. They're planning on taking that standard and just amplifying it up to the next level. So I would imagine if they do anything, it will be, around that scenario. But I can't say, because I really don't know.
Right, of course. Well, that's good enough.
And Bored Ape is going to bridge that gap. So that's what Sebastian said.
There he is. There's Sebastian.
Yeah.
We were talking about the gallery earlier, Sebastian. I was giving you a shout out about it. I saw those posts come through, and I was just like, "What are the apes doing inside of Uplift?"
Yeah. Don't forget, Hustle House used to be a waxer.
That's right.
Well,
We're
gonna bring him back.
And shout out to the digital asset as well. I don't know if you've seen this, but I manage a plot in Genesis in the top right corner of the map for Jenner EOS, and I was flying around there the other day, and there's a massive duchy that's built like just.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like.
Hey, Seb, send me that on Telegram. Where is that? Seb, if you're on Telegram, send me that picture of Dutchy, the big Dutchy you built.
Really good one.
Yo, if you go to his skate park one, he's got 3 of them just sitting on top of that building.
Where is that thing, man?
That's loaded right down the street from my HQ.
Dutchy is taking over.
He's got beacons everywhere now.
A Dutchy coming your way.
Dutchy's everywhere, guys. Dutchies and your stickers. Where is that sheet? You know what the problem is about? I got to say this. When you go to the Blockchain Blunt Telegram, if you guys aren't part of the Blockchain Blunt Telegram group, go check it out. It has been a family situation since I've entered this place, and it's just good people, good art.
Roast Fest.
And we have fun in this place. And the only thing that sucks about it is that if you ever have to go back and search through it, it's endless, dude. I'm talking like you'll go away for 20 minutes. And there'll be like 300 messages. Holy.
I sent him so many.
I think I sent it. There it is. Okay, let me bring this up. So this is the Bored Ape gallery the Digital Acid has put together. I don't know much about this. We gotta find out from the man himself. We have to have him on.
We were there yesterday looking at it, and it was like totally blew my mind.
Yeah, that's a lot of apes.
Amazing job.
It's a lot of apes, and I had, when I did my Wax Gang series, my number 4 card was Clarence the Ape. That's the shirt here, and I had reimagined him as a Navy guy. So I haven't seen that many apes other than that one and the Graffiti Kings, but to see this many apes is quite something. So I'm not sure what's going on. And we were talking about the Dutchy guys. So first of all, we got some Pikachu statues. Where is this, Seb? I don't know. Seb's in the.
Well, that's the old I Know Stupid plot, and the old I Know Stupid plot was this massive plot, and so the gallery that went up beside that Coliseum was actually a gallery that they designed that went upside, and I believe that one's connected to the loop as well now, is it not, TC?
Yeah, the Coliseum.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
just
that
go
one.
through our HQ, you go through the mall gallery portal, and then hang a left, and then go through the Coliseum, and then as soon as you come
It's
out
right
of the
there.
portal,
right there.
hang a right, and it's right there.
Oh man, yeah. Let me put the plot. I'm going to put the coordinates in the YouTube chat for anybody who wants to go check it out. It's in the Uplift Genesis world, and that is it's the 850 3950. Let me put it in the banner as well so you guys can see it.
You guys should put what are your headquarters too, Mello? We should put that in the chat as well.
Yeah,
so
3950 by 4250 is where all the portals.
Okay, that one is for the Bored Ape, and then what is it again?
3950 by 4250.
4250.
There's what? So I'm gonna go buy a lotto ticket for 3950. There's something with that number. Shit's happening, man.
And that's which one is this one, TC? That
That takes right to the Tub Gallery, which where all the portals are.
Okay, portal gallery.
Or if you're near Uplift headquarters, there's a portal right there that'll take you right to our gallery.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is the duchy that we were talking about, guys. So if you go into Uplift, guys, there's amazing builds in here. There's so many things in here.
Oh, it's so amazing.
And this is another one that pops up. What's nice about this one is that the blunt smokes. So there's fire in Uplift.
Yeah.
And so it's actually a smoking
Brilliant.
blunt.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks awesome, man.
I like that angle shot. Shout out.
Yeah, these are really good. I've been bugging Sebastian. I've been bugging Mello too for the last month or 2 months. I'm like, come on, give me some stuff. Let's get you guys featured. And they're like, no, we're not done yet. You're gonna have to wait, Jimmy. We're not putting this content out there.
Jimmy, I'm working on a 50 by 150 length plot. We're going 7 levels down. You know how long it takes to dig out? Ask Sebastian, he'll tell you. Sebastian, am I right? You know.
So I have a question for you. Like, I know Mello, like you have your own collection, and I'm just wondering, like it must be difficult, right? Because you work with the Tub guys. You guys are building like all these awesome builds, and you're digging all of this out. Like, how do you make time to do your own collection and all of this stuff on the side? Like, I'm having trouble. I want to release my own collection. Like, part of the reason I haven't done it is because I just don't want to freaking sit in the line waiting to get verified. But like the other part of the reason is like I just don't have time. And like, how do you do it? Like, how do you?
I'm up at 4:30 every day. My body just wakes me up. So from 4:30 to 10, I'm on Minecraft. I'm right.
Fair enough.
And then from usually, it depends. If I'm talking about TC, then you can just extend 4 hours on that. Okay, that's just how it is. That's my bro. So once that's done, I always dedicate at least another 4 hours to my artwork, and then I take like a 2-hour nap, and then come back on Genesis.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. That's hilarious because it's like the survival world and you're actually doing shit without having to do shit. I mean, you look at Marty. Marty, when do we get to see when because he's on the survival world, so like when he does shit, he really has to do shit, right? Like he's like, I want to build stuff, but first I got to go collect and mine things. Yeah.
Well, we do have some spoilers if you guys want to hear some dates.
Yes.
We announced on the show today, but October 22nd, we're going to have our grand opening tour of Shippletopia. And October 27th, we're going to have our first, the start of our race, the weekly event that's going to occur weekly in Shippletopia, October 27th. And then October 29th, the Nasty Hooks are actually going to come and DJ live our first Rave Cave event. And so, these upcoming couple of weeks are pretty exciting. Shippletopia has been it's 1,000 by 1,000 square in Chicken Caw, and it's been do not pass for like 4 months, right?
Wow.
Because we've had our builders working in there. And then Nifty, I sent you a DM on TG.
Okay.
If you want to give a little sneak peek. This is going to be a big major spoiler drop, and it's just a 2D satellite view. But
very cool. I see it. Hold on, let me bring it up. There we go.
Holy macro!
Wow.
This is really the first that's anybody's seen of this map. I don't even know if I was supposed to share it, but I did.
I'm seeing a
So-
Millennial Falcon in here someplace. That is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we've given a few private tours, and we're pretty excited about this space. What we're going to be able to do, we've kind of coined it as the Vegas Disneyland of the uplift. But what we're going to be able to do in this space is continue to push the tech progression. In our first Rave Cave event, we're going to have multi-chain rewards. At our race, I won't say a whole lot about the events themselves, but you're going to want to experience it. You're going to want to come and race, and you're going to want to come and watch, because the experiences that we've created are insane. We've learned a lot from, watching the builders in the uplift. What's cool is you see somebody build something cool or create a functionality and you're like, oh, I like that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then the builders learn from each other. And there's this evolving, almost a competition in coolness where you're trying to create this next greatest, biggest thing. Right. And so, we're excited, not just for what we're going to do in Shipletopia, but then when people see that and begin to incorporate it into their games and their experiences,
100%.
we get that much closer to Ready Player One, where it's not just one world. It's not just one space. You open your map and you're like, which of the 21 worlds do I want to go to today? Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had a question from Morton Matt D. He's asking about Wax-A-Ween. So I'm doing a thing called Wax-A-Ween on October 30th. And bring up a little sneak peek of our Trick or Treat alley. So this is actually our alley where our sponsors are. So the booths became houses. It's going to be October 30th from 1 to 4:20 p.m. Pacific Standard. Each of the houses has its own little gallery inside. So if you are a booth owner, Sebastian, you're a booth owner, and anybody else that's listening that's a booth owner, you can now set this up. Orion, he owns 2 booths, so he can fill up all these houses. And we're kind of slowly building it as we're kind of going right now. As you can see, it's kind of just been placed in here. All this will be filled up probably in the next week or so. So I'm just kind of going along with it. So to answer your question, Morton, it's going to be October 30th from 1 to 4:20 p.m. PST. And we're going to have probably around 30, 40 artists again. And the booths. And we're going to kind of do a live stream. And if anybody here, you're more than welcome to stop in on the live stream and talk about stuff. And we'll share stuff and talk NFTs and all that stuff. So, anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And while I'm here really quick, so I have 10 entries for this giveaway for a DeFi music pack. I'm going to draw it really quick, guys. So let's see who wins. I like that StreamYard has this nice new little picker thing. That way it takes the snipers away. And
It's awesome.
I won again.
Right.
I've won. I've won now 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. We're gonna roll this dice one more time, guys. Sorry about that. I just
This
keep
nice
on
little picker thing is rigged. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What are you talking
got a
about? It's
hotkey.
mine. It's mine.
Oh, so good.
Here we go. I love that.
Oh, so good.
Uplifter
nice.
Eric.
Hey, nice. Congrats.
Nice.
You have
Congrats,
a
bud.
DeFi music pack coming your way. So if you could, go ahead and DM me on Twitter at Morbs15 with your Wax ID. Take a little picture so I know it was you, and I'll send it over. All right, guys. So thank you for that. And now we're kind of well into an hour and a half. I was just going to let's just do a little shout down. Give me any kind of shout outs that you want about your projects. Mello, anything you got to say?
Yeah, man. Just put out a couple NFTs recently. I'm partnering up with somebody. Can't really talk too much about it, but what I will say is keep an eye out for the character.
Okay.
You're not ready for this. So on top of that, I'll be talking more about it this Friday.
Can we get a link?
Come on back on the show and talk about it, man. Yeah,
No. The link's already in our chat right here.
Oh, it is.
Hold yeah,
on.
if you look under NiftyBC at 720, there's mine right there.
There's a what?
In the private chat.
Okay. Oh, wait. I see it. Is it the? Atomic Hub link? Is that it?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. And does it have something to do with like Jurassic Park? No.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I got the right one. Let me bring it up here.
Now this is a
There it
character that
is.
like I created.
Nice. I
You know,
love
it's
this.
gonna have like a whole backstory coming out soon. But this just ties in with something that I'm working on.
Great
But
work, man.
this
That looks awesome.
This character itself, keep an eye out for it in the next coming weeks.
I can't believe I beat Sebastian to number 1.
Oh, Sebastian, you're sleeping, bro. What's up? You said you're number 1 and number 2 man. Well, now you need to hop on that.
Hop on it. You heard it. He's
But
being
also,
called
what I
out.
No,
will
I've already
what I-
got it. You can't have it.
What I will say though is like everyone goes after the number 1s. The number 1 is not the highest value. It's the number 14 because that's
Number
the year I
14.
learned how to draw. It's also my favorite number and my lucky number. So
There you go. Number 14, guys. You
Keep
heard
an
it from
eye
the
out.
man himself. Awesome. TC.
Also, one other thing I will talk about is actually, no, TC, you can tell them what we did last night.
Oh, yeah. So Mello and I, Chad, and another fellow named Kevin, we actually started our own podcast, but it's audio only. So it's just something new. We spend hours and hours chatting in Discord. We said, what the hell? Let's just do a podcast and just have fun with it. So we did our first couple days ago, and we just posted it today. So
awesome. Do you have the link, TC?
Yeah, just give me a sec.
I posted it.
Did you? Perfect.
Is that the one? I think I saw that come through.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's right on 717.
Yep, I see it right there. Let me pop it in. This will be in the YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah, it's just an audio, so you don't have to watch it. You can just hear it. I've listened to myself 5 times already, so I'm enjoying it.
I love it, TC. That's so good, man. And Marty, so how about you, man? What would you like to leave us with?
Check out our Telegram. We have a Shipple mission posted there that's on Twitter. We have a 24-hour snapshot that's happening for rewards. And pretty much anything that's happening, we start in our Telegram channel and then push out to all the rest of our socials. But, please check out our Telegram, keep up to date. And then that Blue Deck membership tomorrow, just saying.
Do it. Definitely.
Now.
I know, right? I need to go head over there and take care of that right now. And Jimmy, how about you, man? What are you going to leave us with?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on. So if you haven't done it already, if you don't know where to find us, go subscribe to the Uplifters YouTube channel. We go live at least once a day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm usually there for a few more hours with other crazy people. Sometimes with Nifty, sometimes with TC, sometimes with different people and projects within the space. Speaking of being a podcaster and listening to yourself back. If you guys have the opportunity, please go over and support us on the Crypto Writer podcast tonight at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about the first EOS election proper, and we're going to have an all-star cast of guests, including Dan Larimer, on the show to talk about everything that's going on with blockchain and governance and future possibilities. So definitely come and check that out, and feel free to ask the tough questions whether we get to them or not. But just thank you everyone for your support, and I look forward to seeing you here, there, and everywhere.
Awesome. And thank you guys once again for coming and joining me today. It was awesome to have you all here. I really appreciated the talk. Hopefully we'll have you guys back on. And you guys are all welcome to join in on Wax a Ween. Mr. Shipple, if you have anything you would like to toss in there, you let me know, and we will top some stuff in there. And that goes out for you too, Jimmy. If you have some new videos or some other stuff you want me to pop in there, let me know. TC, you already have a mega store in there too. I want to link it together somehow. I'm trying to do linking. So
yeah, I need some things that you're like any of your merch. I want to put some stuff in the store.
Yeah, there's a TC shirt that exists, people.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, we have that the T-shirt, the mega shirt. Where would I put that? I sent you a picture of it. Let me see if I can find it really quick before we get off the thing. Where did I put that thing?
I gotta say, I'm really shocked that TC didn't know about that one. I mean, damn.
Where did I put it? I don't know. I might not have enough time. There it is. Okay. So, So there's a TC Megastore shirt. This is a Morbs character crypto. So I did a limited license on these so people can make shirts with them. So that's his crypto as well. And it's a Megastore shirt. So you're going to be able to get that in his Megastore in Uplift. And
and I got the
in
Genesis address on it too.
It has the address, yeah. So basically, support TC in his Uplift Megastore.
Oh,
world.
that's so cute.
And it ships around the world, guys. So check it out. Anyway, that you can get on Morbs.app, which is my collection of Morbs, mutant organic robots buying shit. So if you ever want to check it out, go check it out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us again on the NFT Circus. It's been another fun episode.
Thanks for having
us. Until next time, man. I want Jimmy's karate chop. I like Jimmy's karate chop to end.
Yeah.
Do it.
And out.